Cool chairs, dude.
Oh yeah, they're comfortable. Woo! How we doing today, guys? Happy Friday, and blessed to every single one of you. Welcome to the Push Bottle Power Show, man, with your host Jesus Ortiz. I'm happy to have here one of my friends, and I'll definitely put him out right now before we even start. I'm gonna roll my intro, but before my intro, man, guys, just take a breather. And I know a lot of shit is going on, and I always say it at the beginning, just breathe in, breathe out, take it in, smell the roses, think
Right.
about what you did good about today, who you helped that something happened today, or nothing happened today, and you felt like a lot of things in your mind. That things happens, bad things, good things, no matter what it is, no matter what you believe, things are gonna happen. So start just creating the momentum of you, the momentum of your time, the momentum of that circle of your own noise, not the outside, but the your noise. The outside noise is right. It's always gonna be there, always gonna be there, always. There's election, COVID, something's gonna happen. That's always gonna happen, guys. But just like take 1 minute. Well, let's take a 30-second. Even myself, which is just pray on yourself, and then we will definitely start the show. Thank you, guys. This was amazing. And let's get ready. Let's get ready for the show and check out.
Mindset is everything.
Oh, you heard him.
Happiness is a skill. Smiling is the spark.
Oh, intro.
Basically, it's pretty rad.
Woo! And we're back. And guys, we were just talking about the whiskey. You can show them the bottles, man.
Yeah.
Look at that,
I got
man.
some Lafroig here, some fancy pants scotch, and then some super cool mead I picked up. So I've been playing this video game, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which is like hella rad. And so then I was in specs, and I'm like, when in Rome or Valhalla, I got some Viking blood here, which is hella sick. We're gonna dip into that in a minute too. It'll be pretty cool, dude.
That's sick, man. And it's Friday, man. And I'm so happy and so much energy to have Nicholas Davis in here. You go more by Nick, right?
Depends on how much trouble I'm in.
Okay. When they call you Nicholas, that's at home. I know that.
Like, oh!
Nicholas. Oh, damn. You're like, what do I do?
Yeah, 100%. Middle name goes out. I'm like, oh shit, where's mom?
Oh man, that's amazing, man. And I just, happy to have him. He's in the health, again. Oh my God, in the health industry and insurance. And a lot of people have a lot of questions about it. Like myself, we talked about it, the ins and outs about it.
Mm-hmm.
But before we even get to all of that spicy nuts and good at it, we want to know who Nick Davis is. Who is he? What is he doing? Does he have kids? Have a family or anything? And because that's what we're here, storytelling time. You just don't want to hear about the business, but you want to hear about the person itself. How they get to there, how they got all the little struggles, and don't worry, it's gonna be fun. I'm gonna probably ask him some questions that he like, damn, nobody asked me that long time, or nobody asked me that, because that has done it. A lot of people done that to me. A lot of other podcasters when I've been in other podcasts, and they ask me, you don't have to answer it, and I said, dude, no, you asked it, you gotta receive the answer.
There's a reason,
from the heart, because I'm not gonna tell you no, and then the audience looking is like, oh, who's this guy? You don't want to answer that question. Like, no, I'm gonna truthfully tell you what it is, and you're gonna get it. But I'm gonna pass you the mic, Nick, and you can tell the audience who you are, your name, and a little bit of background about yourself.
Sure. All right, so guys, Nick or Nicholas Davis, entirely depends on how much trouble I'm in for the moment. And I have an amazing saying: reclaim your premium. Whoop.
That's why I love him.
Gotta have some fun. Man, these chairs are bananas.
They're comfortable, aren't they?
Like side to side. These are like high tech stuff here, man.
Don't fall asleep, then.
100%. No. You don't have to worry about that with me, bro.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. A little bit about myself. So I've held a lot of different positions and careers, just in general. And health insurance, you might ask yourself, like, do you wake up one morning and you're just like, I want to be a health insurance agent? No, not really. I mean, some people maybe, I don't know, not me anyway. So it's very interesting. So my last gig was in engineering. It was very interesting. And so like basically here I am doing my thing in the engineering field, and I get laid off. Like so many people have the oil and gas industry, and it was just nuts. It was devastating because I'm a father of triplets. I've got 3 little girls, 3 beautiful girls. They're 8, and so I'm like, man, like it hits you in the gut, and you go from making oil and gas money basically. Those of you watching that are in oil and gas, you know what I'm talking about.
They know.
And so I'm like, man, it went from that to like nothing, like unemployment, $12.50 a month, and I'm like, this is it's too much. There's no way. And so I was thinking to myself, I'm like, how can I fix this? And first and foremost, like I need to get another job. Second one is, how can I provide for my kids and my family? And I need to get health insurance for my kids because it's really important for kids to have health insurance. It's important for everybody to have health insurance. Kids, as a dad, you take care of your kids first. It's a thing. So here I am, like freaking out, and I'm offered Cobra, right? So Cobra, for those of you who may or may not know, Cobra is that health insurance that is offered to you when you leave a company, right? So when you leave a company, they're like, we're not going to send you out to the cold alone by any means. You can have the coverage that you had when you were previously employed, which is really great. And you're like, oh, awesome. The thing is, though, is you're paying their part plus your part plus a minimum 2% stitching fee. That's the cost of Cobra, right? Now, that being said, your part, their part, what does that mean, right? So the deal is, in the U.S., obligated to pay half of your health insurance premium when they're going through marketplace coverage, which everybody over 50 people is going to go through marketplace coverage as an employer, right? So, and the employee side of the fence, the only thing you're going to see is when HR rolls out, like, here's the benefits for next year. And you're like, okay, cool. But on the back side of the fence, that company's going through the marketplace because they're over 50 people, basically. And so they have to pay half of your health insurance premium, and that's like a legal thing. Like, for example, like your Shells and your Exxons and so on and so forth.
Oh, yeah.
Like all those big, giant, massive companies, they'll pay you like 85, 90% of your health insurance, on average. It's an average number, mind you. So, like, for example, my company paid half of my health insurance premium. So when I got laid off, my health insurance premium doubled and then added on a minimum 2% stitching fee. So I was looking at, around $1,400 a month for me and my kids, which is just bloody insane, right? There's no way. I was like, that's even more than I would make in unemployment. That's nuts. So I was freaking out. I was like, okay, so Cobra is definitely not an option for me or my kids. So what do I do next? My next thing is I went to the marketplace, on the internet, and I was like, man, let me take a look and see what's up here, crazy stuff. The reason I went to the marketplace is the Cobra guy, like the person I talked to at Cobra was literally like, this is the Cobra guy. He's like, all right, man. Yeah. So I know this stuff's really, really expensive. And, honestly, I mean, if you twist my arm, I'll sell it to you. But I mean, honestly, I really recommend you go to the marketplace to find, a little bit less expensive coverage. It's going to be the same coverage, if not better, probably. But it's definitely going to be way cheaper. That was the Cobra guy. And I'm like, whoa, okay. So that's step one. So then I was like, cool, marketplace, here we go, right? So go to marketplace, type in my income, so on and so forth. Because if you go by the marketplace, they work on your income. That's how they determine some of your premiums, income, age, zip code, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So I went on there and I'm like, man, everything it's a little bit cheaper than what the Cobra was, but man, so why is PPO not on here? Am I doing something wrong? And I was like, all I see is this HMO and this EPO. I don't even know what those are, And this is, of course, before I was an advisor. And I was like, why does everything look the same? This is nuts. It's really confusing. Like, honestly, legit confusing. Like, everything looks the same. And so I had all these questions. And I'm like, man. So, I went ahead and I got my kids taken care of through the state. And so they were covered. So then I was like, all right, cool. I got to find health insurance for myself. And I was like, I got to find a job. Let me, maybe I find a job that has health insurance. Maybe that's going to work, right? So I did that. And then I just got to thinking about it as I'm job searching. And what I didn't realize is COVID was happening overseas while I was job searching. So my job market was narrowing very, very quickly. And so it was really difficult for me to find a job. So I was like, man, what do I do? So then I thought about it, and earlier, like I had said, I've done a lot of different things, right? So let's go over those different things just for a second. So I ran a skateboard shop. I ran like the largest skateboard shop in Houston, which is pretty sick. I ran it's probably the largest inline skate shop in the city of Houston, so that was cool. Like back in the day when I was a youngster, I was going to get sponsored for K2 for aggressive skating and so on and so forth. This should be super sick, super jazzed out about it. But I was at a skate session hanging out with some of my buddies, and we were jumping over minivans. Yes, jumping over minivans on skates, having some fun. And about 8.5 feet in the air, I realized, oh, snot, I'm going to fall. And when I fell, hit my wrist, and I broke a teeny tiny bone in my arm and spread my metacarpals apart and turned it this way. So I was in an arm cast for like the better part of 6.5, 7 weeks, something like that, right? It was nuts. So I blew my sponsorship opportunity. And I was like, what do I do? So that's why I started working at a skate shop. So I ended up working at the skate shop, doing that, ran a skateboard shop for a long, long time. And then graduated from college. I went to Sam Houston State, marketing degree. Whoop, whoop, beat 'em up cats. And so did that. And then I started working for this company, Enterprise, renting cars, which is cool, and worked through their management stuffs. And then I got engaged. And, so I was engaged to this ballet dancer, which is pretty cool. And by the way, so as I was doing all these other things, I was also an internationally recognized dancer. I've danced with people from every continent on the planet for swing dancing, which is hella sick.
Ooh.
So much fun. Met so many cool people, which is really, really neat. And then also, I was a professional musician as well. And so I've done, tours, albums, shows. That was lots and lots of fun. Did all of that stuff while I was doing the skateboard shop and the skate shop and stuff like that. And a little bit of the bike shop, which, by the way, after I was done with Enterprise, I worked for the bicycle shop for a while. And then as I was working at the bicycle shop, I married that girl, ballet dancer I was dating, and we had triplets.
How old were you at that time?
Phenomenal question. How old was I at that time? That had to have been, how old am I now? Let's see here. Carry the 3. I was probably around 30, give or take, when that happened. Give or take, when I got pregnant with the kids. Or when she got pregnant with the kids, mind you. Yeah, that was awesome. That just happened.
Yes, sir.
We're live.
Yes, guys. And you're watching us from that camera right there.
Oh yeah. No, I'm just talking.
No, you're good, because next time I'm gonna put another camera on that.
What do I do with my hands? It's like
that
one of those.
I can press it so they can watch us like, hey, from over here, and then another one from over there.
That's so rad, dude.
Oh yeah. No. And next time when you're here too, we're gonna put like your commercial and your logo stuff and stuff on the TV. So yeah, I'm gonna make all that happen. Yeah, I'm gonna make that happen.
Cool, dude. That'll be hella cool. So
go ahead.
Yeah, I did that stuff. Had the kids, and then decided I was like, man, I got to get a better job. There's no way I can't support kids working at a bicycle shop. So other stuffs that I was doing in the meantime with the bicycle shops, I'm also a biomechanics, and so I align skeletal structures and make them straight so your back doesn't hurt and stuff like that. I've been doing that since I was like maybe 19, give or take. And so I was like that kid that hung around the old dudes and I'm like, teach me everything you know. And so they're like, okay. So then I ended up as this young dude knowing a whole bunch of stuff, which is really cool. Then I was also a master bike fitter as well. And so aligning people's skeletal structures to bicycles to maximize their pedaling efficiency. So I was doing that too. So I had a whole bunch of stuff going on, right?
That's really nice.
And then at the meantime, I was also, in addition to doing all that, I was riding about 260 miles a week in the loop in Houston, leading a bunch of bicycle rides, which is bananas.
That is bananas.
Yeah. And so that was super duper duper fun. So in the meantime of doing that, one of the guys on my ride was like, hey, bro, I'm an engineer at this testing lab. I'm like, okay, that's cool. And he's like, yeah, man. So you've got a really good knowledge of like applied physics, and you're obviously a bike mechanic, so you know mechanics. I'm like, yeah. And he's like, so I think he can teach you engineering. And I'm like, yeah, I'm down. Let's go. So I was like, let's do this, because I'm thinking in my head, oil and gas. Yeah. I've never been in oil and gas before to this point. I was like, man, it's going to be so stable, so great. Yeah. I had literally no idea what I was talking about, like in hindsight. But so anyway, I went from the guy who knows nothing and moving into the oil and gas industry, literally following people down with a little like piece of paper, like literally writing down what they were saying. And they're like, what are you taking notes for? I was like, don't you worry about that. I would go back and Google what they were talking about because I had no idea what they were talking about. And then I basically taught myself a lot of the engineering skills that are out there, which is pretty cool. And so I went from the person who knows nothing to in about 5.5 years, basically running the largest oil and gas testing facility in the United States, which is nuts, and becoming an authority in the Western Hemisphere on a few things I even wrote, which is pretty sick, I think. pretty big accomplishment in my opinion. So then I was doing that. I thought I was really, really, really secure. And then job cut, and then fast forward to where we left off. So here I am thinking about all these positions that I've had. And I'm like, man, it's like literally all over the board. Like, what do all of them have in common? What did I enjoy about all of them, right? And what I enjoyed about all of them was one thing, helping people. Because all of them in common, I was helping somebody. I was helping a kid in Qatar get a skateboard. I was helping, a kid in Manila get a skateboard. I was helping a guy in Norway go back to work. I was helping one person overseas with a program. I was, it was always a personal thing for me. So I was like, okay, now how can I make that a job? Because I think the pivot thing is a thing for 2020. And so, because it's just, I was like, this coronavirus, everybody's at home, like, I may as well pivot because I think it's a good idea. So then I started looking into it and I put two and two together. I was like, man, I was crazy weird confused about health insurance. And I have a passion for helping people. So I thought about it, put two together, and I'm like, if I have this many questions, I'm sure somebody else does. And so that's why I got into health insurance. Put the last bit of my unemployment money into state and licensing fees, studied a ton. Got fingerprinted. Fun fact, to do insurance, you got to get fingerprinted.
Yeah, because I recently went.
Yeah. And then so I was like, dude, why don't I get it fingerprinted? I was like, not that I'm against it, but I'm like, why do you get? They're like, Nick, people's lives are in your hands. And I'm like, dude, that's heavy. Okay, fair enough. I'll get fingerprinted. So it was nuts, So I was doing all this stuff. And then I was like, man, all right, well, that's it. And so I was like, well, now who do I work for? Because I could go broker for 1 million different companies, right?
Yeah, there's so many.
And now that the veil has been lifted, it's like Wizard of Oz. When you pull back the curtain, you get to see how Oz works, So after becoming an advisor, the curtain was pulled back. I got to see how everything works. And I was like, what? This is nuts. And so I was like, man, okay, I could go work with different brokers. Like literally, I deny emails on a daily basis. And so I was like, I could do that and literally get people HMO stuffs, which is, I'll explain that in a minute, HMO stuffs. Or I can take a step back and work with a different company. And so I decided to work for a different company, and I decided to work in the realm of PPO, which is awesome. And that's when I made the choice to not only work for people, but to represent the little guy, which is a big deal. Because the little guy doesn't get represented very often. And the little guy is the backbone of the United States economy. And that's really important, dude. Really important. Folks like Jesus over here, making the world go around. With the awesome red pants, by the way. If you guys didn't see his pants, super sick. Red pants. That's so cool.
Power. That's the name of the show. Push power to power.
Yeah, man. Looking for the little guy. That's kind of what I do, man.
That right there, what he mentioned, we are the backbone of America. And what is happening in the world right now is like a lot of them are shutting down. You see LA, they're another shutdown. It's like, that's it. They won't be able to open up again.
Yeah.
Because they even said it. Like a lot of those businesses said, if there's another lockdown, we're done.
Yeah.
And this is where I play my mind. This is a question for both of us. Like, why is this like happening? But Walmart is open. The other big ones are open, but you want to shut down the little one. And everything that you see in the news, we're putting a fine to the little companies. What happened to the big ones? Why we're not talking about the big ones? There's too many people in the club. I understand that you're not. There's too many people in your restaurant. Sorry about my language. There's more people in Walmart every day now than it used to be before. Yeah, we are wearing masks, but it's the same thing as the little person, right? So like, I'm confused right there. Like even some of my friends were like, okay, I don't understand this. Yeah.
It's nuts. And that's that. I think that might be a different conversation for a different day entirely, bro. But man, it's nuts what we're in right now. It's so many people. Speaking of the little guys, so many people. I mean, hashtag pivot or hashtag pivot 2020. Those are like big deals online. Mr. Online guy, not really. I mean, my niece is probably laughing at this right now. She thought it was hilarious. I had a hashtag, and she's like, "Do you have a hashtag, Uncle Nick?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Psh." I'm like, "Whatever, dude."
Whatever.
So good times. But yeah, man. I mean, so many things are happening. People are pivoting. people are losing their health insurance from their big company.
That's true.
And they're like, dude, what do I do for my family? Well, that's the thing. I've been there. And now I'm an advisor and I'm here to help, which is really, really cool, right? Another thing that I read recently is a lot of employers, not a lot, but I mean, I'm sure a good bit of employers are going to this plan where it's called something, I can't remember off the top of my head, but where what they do is they'll give their employees like a stipend per month, which is nuts, right? And they're like, hey, you go get your own health insurance. And they're like, huh, interesting, right? And so now that puts the choice back on the employees' benefit of like, what do I do for health insurance? Well, crap, so now I got this money now, what do I do with it, right? And so that's the thing. If you're not working for a company that's over 50 people, if you're self-employed or solopreneur, so on and so forth, entrepreneur, if you're a little mom and pop shop, that's my target market. That's who I'm looking for. Those people in most states in the union, in the US, if you go to find health insurance, you will not find PPO on the marketplace. Now, definition time. PPO. What is
PPO?
Preferred Provider Organization, right? And what that means is you can go to any hospital, any doctor across the US. You're gravy, right? The next one tier down from that is what you're going to see on the marketplace, right? On the marketplace, you're going to see Health Maintenance Organization, or HMO. What that means is all your hospitals and doctors are now kind of, consolidated into a few counties of your state. For in-network, out-of-network is then your state. Once you leave your state, no dice on health coverage. That's a big deal.
That is a big deal.
Most people don't know that. I mean, I didn't know that before I was a health advisor. So I'm just assuming that the other part of people watching more than likely don't know that either. So there's that. And the third one is my geek reference here. EPO.
Which one is it? Yes. Exclusive
Provider Organization. I think of Lord of the Rings on this one, like one building rule them all and one team kind of network to bind them, basically. It's kind of fun. What's
that
up?
Is. Did
you have a question?
No, go ahead.
Yeah.
No, that before that, that's PPO, HMO, and then the one that you just EPO, is that like more exclusive or
super exclusive? So one building. So basically, it's like if I chose Bob's Insurance, right? Fictitious entirely, just for example. If I chose Bob's Insurance, Bob was an EPO. Bob's Insurance was an EPO. And Bob's Insurance had a building on the corner of Street A and Street B. That's my only provider. My hospital, my doctor, that's in Bob's Insurance building, right? If Bob's Insurance has 2 locations, that's my hospitals, that's my doctors, because that's Bob's Insurance, right? And so that's basically it on an EPO, which is totally bananas. Like, that's just nuts, just crazy. Anyway, regardless. I mean, and everybody has their own situation for whatever fits their needs. And that has to be said too. So that's a big deal. Like, for example, in certain states in the union are really like HMO heavy just because of the way they're structured and organized and so on and so forth. So it could be a different thing for different people. That's why I'm an advisor, because I can go in and I can help you find the best plan that fits your needs and suits your needs, which is a big deal. Whether or not you're on the marketplace and you need a subsidy and the government will pay part of your health insurance premium, you can figure that one out. If not, then we'll get you squared out as well. I can get you into a PPO that gives you massive benefits and stuff, and that'd be great too. But everybody, like I said, is completely different. The main point to drive home from this one is custom tailored health insurance policies, because that's what I do, right? I am here to support the little guy, essentially.
Did you hear that, guys? I love what he said, that he could have chose that other route with the big companies and hit HMO, and with his knowledge, he would have been closing, making a lot of money. But he decided to stay because he knew that the backbone of America, the small businesses, those are the ones that need help. 100%. Because those are the ones that even ourselves, that nobody sees us. They're like, we're bigger, we're on top, we're gonna crush you no matter what, and that's what we're here, guys, to help each other out. Like, no matter what is happening, help somebody. Share it. It doesn't have to be like I'm sharing, sharing is caring and all of this. Even if it's like I see yourself or somebody, I'm like, boom, I'm gonna send you to somebody because I know him.
Yeah,
absolutely. Like I got a good connection with him. I'm gonna connect with him because he's the one. Like, all the information he said, It's too much for me for one time. And I know that it's too much for you for one time. But this is what is understandable, because then I can be like, hey, you really want a one-on-one with him? He's an advisor. Then I'll send it to you, because you can explain it to you one-on-one to him, sitting down and understandable. Because I really want to do that with him too, understand this, PPO and all of that, because I didn't know none of that. None of that. Like
Calendly.com/reclaim your premium.
Oh yeah, and we'll put a little video. We're gonna put a little video right there, so they can. And it's that's just crazy, man. Knowing that, you know, all of those things that everybody puts, oh, health insurance, oh, life insurance, oh, it's a scam. No, man, it's there. Yeah. It's real. And I used to be that same person. Like, that's fake, you know, health and all of that. And like, it's too fucking much. Well, you said 1,400?
Yeah, freaking nuts. It's real. So here's the fun thing about health insurance, right? So check this out. So I have a lot of friends all over the world, because I'm by the way, I'm like networking like a beast. By the way, it's super rad. Shout out to Happy Neighborhood Project. Woohoo!
Shout out, guys.
Yeah, man, those guys are super rad. Big fan. So yeah, man, health insurance is nuts all over the world, right? There are companies in the UK, like the UK has where they have like, it's basically like our Medicaid, essentially, where everybody could just be on it over in the UK, essentially, to my understanding, my knowledge. Please correct me, anybody from the UK, if I'm wrong. But so you have that country-funded insurance, and then as a perk, a benefit, a company could say, hey, I tell you what, as a perk, as a benefit, we also have coverage with a private insurance company. And so that's like a perk and benefit. So not only have you state insurance or your country insurance, you'll also have this private insurance, and that's a perk and benefit for some of those companies in the UK, which is super sick. And learned that from one of my previous podcasts that I was on, Business and Bow Ties, with this super rad dude, man, super rad dude.
We have him here next time.
Yeah, it was really cool. So anyway, we're doing that. And then so that's interesting over there. And then so you think like, oh man, well, if health insurance was just free for everybody, that'd be so great.
Right.
Technically, for the consumer, phenomenal. For the doctor, how on earth is that guy going to get paid? Then what's the reasoning he would ever want to go to medical school? And then why would they get in all this debt if they can't get out of it? Right? So different things to think about, right? Think about it from the other side of the fence. Now, I have, and for example, like, pick on Canada for a little bit. Anybody from Canada watching, love you guys. You guys are great. So I got a buddy who lives in Saskatchewan area, right? And so he's getting taxed so much for health insurance, like almost, I think it was like, last we said, it was like almost like maybe 33% of his income, which is bananas, right?
Whoa.
For health insurance is what he's taxed, right? He might not use that much health insurance, but he's being taxed for it, so he can have it for free whenever he needs, right? And certain things, great, go on in, you're great. Other things, you got to go on a waiting list for, right? And so in the US, that's obviously not the case. And so you think, man, if it was free, that'd be so great, right? Well, if it was free, you'd have to be on a waiting list. Not cool. If it was free, you'd have to go to certain people. Not cool either, right? And so also too, say for example, it was free, and then you would have hospitals that would have the best, like for example, pick on MD Anderson, best cancer facility ever, right? They're amazing, right? Then you would say, okay, great. Well, my insurance doesn't pay for MD Anderson. It pays for something else. Oh, it's not. So you got to go there. Oh, really? But fun fact, that's actually just like an HMO. Your HMOs, interesting stuff, mind you. This is a couple of years ago they made this rule over HMOs. Most HMOs are not being accepted by major medical facilities any longer. Like, for example, Kelsey-Seybold, they do not accept HMOs. Get a plan on the marketplace, can't go to Kelsey-Seybold. The other one, MD Anderson, they do not also accept HMOs as well, right? And you might ask yourself, why on earth is that a thing, right? Here's some fun information for you guys. So this is behind the curtain knowledge,
guys.
Right?
Write it down.
It's behind the curtain knowledge, guys, okay? Billing. So you think, okay, great. Because as a consumer, you're like, well, if it works, it works, right? So, but why should you have a PPO over an HMO? If you like to travel, well, yeah, that might be a thing, right? If you like the freedom in choosing your hospital or a doctor and not being specifically needed to go to one spot, yeah, that might be a thing too. And HMOs, it's nuts. the HMOs, and not attacking HMOs. This is just actual facts, right? HMOs, they will. It's almost like the health insurance is deeming like it is in control of your medical care, right? Which is nuts. So if in hypothetical scenarios, of course, because you don't want to get in trouble with anybody, but this is just basically how it works. So an HMO is only going to pay for what they're going to pay for, right? So if you had a doctor that had a choice over, surgery A or surgery B, just I'll use examples, right? Surgery A or surgery B. He would tell the patient, hey, I got surgery A, surgery B. These are our options, right? Any one of them is going to be a viable option. They're like, okay, cool. And then he jets, right? And you're like, okay, cool, no big deal. I'll talk about it amongst myself, talk about it with my spouse or whomever's in the room, or if you're in the room, talk to yourself, 6 1/2 dozen the other. And then the doctor comes back and he's, all right, cool, we're going to go with procedure A. And I'm like, all right, cool, procedure A, done and done. And so you think, like, what did the doctor do when he was gone, right? Hypothetical scenarios, but the doctor basically is going back, calling the insurance company, or secretaries call the insurance company. They're like, hey, dude, we got procedure A, procedure B. I'm like, all right, cool. Well, the insurance company says they're going to pay for procedure B, so we're doing procedure B. All right, cool. These doctors, they're running businesses too, right? We think about it. We don't think about it because we're like, doctors are doctors. I mean, they're the most blessed individuals on the planet because they serve and help others, and they're phenomenal. And same with nurses too. I love you, nurses, man. But you got to think they got to get paid too, right? And so if they've got a guaranteed way to get paid, or something that's going to be on a gamble, they're going to take the guaranteed way to get paid. Fun fact: over half the U.S. population is bankrupt. The reason for the bankruptcy? Medical bills. Legit. That's true. How many of you guys watching know somebody who had something happen to them and they're like, dude, as these medical bills are bananas, I just got to make tiny monthly payments and just do it to it because there's no way I can pay this off anytime soon, right? And now of that statistic, of that number, over half of those guys actually had health insurance. The thing is they had the wrong health insurance. Because you're supposed to have health insurance to work for you. You're supposed to have health insurance to be able to make decisions when you can't make decisions for yourself. Like you're incapacitated. Oh, what do you do? If you have XYZ plan, whatever. If you got a plan that, does it to it, you're good to go, right? So interesting stuff. So back to the billing really quick. So HMOs are going to pay per service, or not per service, but HMOs will pay what they'll pay for, right? So if they only pay for one thing, the doctor's going to do that one thing they're going to pay for. That's it, right? PPOs will pay per service rendered, which is a big deal, right? So moving back to, if I was, said large institution not accepting HMOs, I would think, hey man, if the insurance company's going to tell me what I can and cannot do with my patients, I didn't go to medical school for that. I went to medical school to actually take care of people. And so if the insurance company's going to bully me around and say, I'm not going to cover this, this, when I know I need to do that, then I'm just not going to accept you, right? I had a true story. I have a client not a client, but a friend of mine from Canada. Her brother did medical school. Of course, he's a doctor. He traveled to the U.S. to practice over here, right? The dude literally got involved. He was doing his thing, and he was like, okay, cool, HMO is awesome. I'm going to get guaranteed patients for this particular situation. He was like, awesome, that's great. And then you learn the HMO is only going to pay what the HMO wants. And he's like, dude, my patients need XYZ. And the insurance company's like, we're not going to pay it. So I'll figure out another way to charge your client for it. He's like, all right, cool. So he finished that, mic drop, he's out. Because he's like, I'm not working with HMOs anymore because that's ridiculous, right? And so he went to go work only because PPO will pay him per service rendered, right? So that's behind the curtain right there.
Wow. Wise. We're going to go a little bit in a little commercial. Check it out, man. This is
all the information.
Testimonials. So y'all can see a little bit about testimonials that is true and everything. Check it out, guys.
Reclaim your premium. Testimonials edition. Hey, what's up, guys? This is Nick Davis with RYP Insurance. And open enrollment, man, you got to wonder, why should I go with one person over the other? Well, I'll tell you what. Here's a quick testimonial.
Hey, everybody. So I want to tell you about Reclaim Your Premium. I actually was on a Cobra plan just recently. I spoke to my guy Nick here, and he told me about what he has going on and the things that he could offer me. And next thing you know, 45 minutes later, after a long discussion of what I was looking for and him diving deep into what my needs were, it looks like I'm saving about $896 a month. just because I had the conversation with Nick. And I'm so grateful and so thankful that he was able to help me and really get me a plan that that works for me and it's saving me money. So I urge everybody to take the time, talk to Nick, and save some money. It's phenomenal. All right, you guys have a good day.
Thanks for watching RYP Testimonials Edition. Make sure to book your appointment right here, calendly.com/reclaim your premium. Also, follow the hashtag reclaim your premium. And also, reclaim your premium. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
We're laughing over here, but guys, I hope you like the
Video.
commercial. Hey, that's what it means, testimonial. Sometimes people are gonna think that you're doing work and you're like, oh, you don't have nothing to back it out or anything. They don't see the back end. They don't see how hard you work. And sometimes you just gotta push in. Like he's gonna explain to you how much he helped them to his coverage and everything, and the one that he's working on right now, and all of that. And he's gonna have a testimonial for that. And I'm definitely gonna show that to you too. And it's just, oh man, it's just amazing, man. And any questions, yeah, let us know. And if he doesn't have the questions right now, you ask them later. He'll be able to see it too, and he can go in there and comment. And come looking over here at the computer and the camera. When the
I
comments
think we were both doing it just now.
yeah, we
It's
were
awesome.
doing it. It's all good. And but we're gonna turn around a little bit about insurance. We're gonna get back to it. We're gonna talk about your little girls, man. So
Yeah, my babies.
oh man, like they're 8 years old. I have a little one myself that she's 8 years old. I'm definitely gonna have them in my special show that I have only on YouTube. That is only for dads and girls, and that's he's gonna be in there next. Man, how is it with your little girls? Because father to father, or nice, like ripping your hair out and you don't have no hair. Because you know what? Look, this is a story. I don't know who I was talking yesterday, and they asked me a question about you. Man, did you see him in the video? I told them like, look at his fucking cool ass hair, like on point. and my friend said, yeah, and look, you have no hair. And he looked and he's like, he does have some cool hair. Like,
Oh, thank you.
oh man. And then he's like, maybe he's not gonna have that for a long time. Because you have
Right?
to
Oh my gosh. I will say this though, true story. I was like looking through my Google Drive the other day, right? And like just scrolling for pictures or whatever, and it was just like I was looking at my pictures of like right before the girls were born, right? And I'm like, A, I look crazy weird scared right before the OR room. B, I was like, dude, so I used to have this glorious beard, right? Actually, I had a glorious beard, and I also had a really glorious, like, hella rad mustache, like handlebar mustache, which was really cool. And my hair was so, like, brown, you know what I mean? Like, I was just like, dude, my hair was, like, really dark then, dude. And, like, my hair was, like, it was really dark. I was like, this is right, this is all right, It was like, wow, look at that. There's, like, very little gray in there, And now I look at my hair, and I'm like, it's mostly white, but that's cool. And then if I grow my beard out, it's like Gandalf. It's like mostly white, a little bit of gray. And then I'm like, what changed? And I'm like, oh yeah, triplets, no big deal. Yeah, it makes sense.
So how are the girls? Like, do they all? I know we talked about it that you give them time, all of them, and that's good.
Yeah. So what I do with my girls? So I'm in a little bit different situation than some of the other dads. I am my ex, the ballet dancer lady. She divorced me when the kids were 6 months old, which is bananas, right? And so that was like having my heart ripped out of my chest, real talk. And I just went, it was nuts, just nuts. I don't will it on anybody. It's very, very terrible. And so, my daughters mean the world to me. They really, really do, real talk. And so because I don't get to see my daughters as often as I would like to, just with custody and so on and so forth, the time that I spend with them is very, very magical and very, very special. And so Wednesday nights, I have dinner with my girls, right? But I do what's called daddy-daughter date night, which is lots of fun. Because triplets, right? They're always there, right? They're always with their sisters. And so when they need daddy time, they're like, I have to share my daddy with my sisters, And that's great. And then they're like super rad with sharing. It's a thing, and it's totally normal. But legit, I mean, they want some time alone with their dad at some point in time. So I do daddy-daughter date nights. And once a week on Wednesday nights, I'll take one kid out for a date. And I'm like, Sweetie Pea, wherever you want to go, it's all you and daddy for 2 hours, right? So we're going to make this time magical. And it's very, very special to me. Very, very special to my girls, I know. And it's cool because I get to see them, grow. And aside from first, third, and fifth weekends and stuff like that, it's cool to like see them in the middle of the day, like after school, and hear about their school. I just think it's so cool, and it's really neat too because it's like my girls have different quirks. Like for example, one of my girls, she loves sushi. I love sushi too, and she's my sushi girl. And so for daddy date nights, like their mother moved farther away from me. So then now they live like 20 miles outside of College Station, which is like an hour away from my house and an hour and a half away from my work. And so when I drive out there, they're in a teeny tiny town that literally has 2 restaurants. And so she's like, Daddy, I wanted some sushi for my daddy date night. I'm like, sure, no big deal. So I'll swing by, get some sushi, get some seaweed, get some ramen, which is like a little Japanese kids drink. And we'll have a little picnic out there on the table and just have a picnic and eat some sushi and, swing on a swing or play chase, whatever. And then one of my other daughters, she absolutely loves just hanging out and showing me special things. We've been working on her back bends. She's very, very proud of her back bends. And and sometimes I'll ask them like a week before, it's like, is there anything you want me to bring on daddy during a date night? And they're like, sometimes it's like, yeah, bring this or this or this. And so, I think, Vera's big thing is, just back bends and hanging out and getting some quality time with dad, pushing on the swing, stuff like that. So we might have sushi, we might have, X, Y, or Z, but really it's just that quality time with dad. And then one of my other girls, Lindy, so cool. My girls are cool. I just love my girls. Anyway, I'm a dad, so it's a thing.
Mm-hmm. They won't understand.
Proud papa.
Yes.
And so Lindy's lots of fun. She's, like for example, like what did we do this past daddy date night? We went to the only restaurant in town, which is a Mexican restaurant. Went there and we split a quesadilla. And so we're having some fun, doing the thing, playing Go Fish. I showed her a little magic trick. She was really jazzed out about that. And then after that, we literally went to the Dollar General in town. We got some, candy. We got some, she got a Coke, and we just walked around and had some fun. Did some balancing on some things, and threw paper airplanes. So it's like really, really cool times with my girls. So I really, really enjoy my daddy dirty date nights, in addition to obviously the first, third, and fifth weekends and stuff. So that's pretty cool.
That's amazing that you created that moment. And even though, because I know that probably a lot of fathers, it would have been hard for them to drive all the way over there. Maybe the work and time, he would have been probably crazy. Like, why did you do that? Why are you taking them so far when you know that I can do this? And I know that there's probably some fathers that they're on that position. Mm-hmm. And that's tough. You said, those are my precious.
Yeah, anything for my babies, man. And that's another reason why I do what I do as well, because I'm 1099 now. And, it's the first time in my life I've been 1099, which is bananas, right? And so, being 1099 is totally scary coming from, like, real talk. So, there's very little filters going on here, guys, if you hadn't noticed. 1099, coming from a 1099, from W-2 to a 1099, it's nuts. Totally nuts. Like, you have all the freedom in the world, but really, when you think about it, you're running your own business, and you're like, holy Moses, I'm working, like, literally all the time. And literally, for all of you guys, I do work literally all the time. Like, I literally was helping a client right before I got here. And I've got some appointments after this. And it's cool because, this is open enrollment right now. Very important information. Open enrollment closes in 4 days.
Yeah, the 15th, right?
Yeah, the 15th. We need to get your health insurance going, guys. All small businesses, solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, mom and pop shops, stuff like that. Come see me. We need to get your health insurance done. It's 4 days left, man. 4 days left for open enrollment. So yeah, man, I'm working all the time just because of what I do. But the thing is it gives me the freedom to go see my kids whenever I can too, which is really, really cool. So,
and that's a blessing.
It's a huge blessing.
It's a huge blessing. It's just crazy to know. And now we jump into whiskey, man. Like, he's a whiskey guy. Like, I wouldn't notice that, that I talk to other fathers, and then some of them they don't drink, or some of them, that's okay if you don't drink. I'm still gonna hang out with you no matter what. Sure, yeah. And then some no tequila, and I'm like, whoa, that's cool. Motorcycles, and people are like, they love constructing and stuff like you did, and I was like, that's their hobby. Someone like, how did it get to you to like I'm gonna have these kind of bottles, and what was that idea to just have them?
It's fun, all fun things, right? So. The other many things I've done. I'm the founding father of a fraternity as well. So I actually founded a fraternity up in Sam Houston State.
Oh, cool.
Lambda Chi Alpha, yeah. Sigma Mu chapter up there. It's, Sigma Mu.
Ooh.
Get my guys going, right? So I've just had an abnormally high alcohol tolerance for the vast majority of my life. Vast majority, not now, vast majority of my life. And so, I mean, I've gotten a chance to experience many different alcohols and so on and so forth. And so my last oil and gas job, I was out on a training, right? So I did this like Lean Six Sigma training. I got my green belt training through my last job, right? And so that was really cool. And I'm at a hotel bar in Troy, Michigan, with an awesome coworker from the Netherlands, right? And we're just hanging out, just shooting the ass, at 1 a.m, basically. And he's like, "So Nick," because I one of the other guys was ordering whiskey, and I'm like, I'm not really a whiskey guy, but yeah, wine sounds like a fun idea right now. He's ordering like a bourbon, right? It's like a wild turkey, I think. And so I got that wild turkey, whatever. And then the guy looks at me, he's like, "You like whiskey?" And I'm like, "Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm down for like anything." And he's like, "All right, you like whiskey?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Flight?" And he orders a flight. This dude literally orders a flight of whiskey from the bar. And I'm like, "Cool." He's like, "Do you know how to drink whiskey?" And I'm like, "With your mouth?" And
Right?
And he was like, he just gives me that side eye. And he's like, "No." I'm like, "Okay, cool." And so anyway, this dude took me through a flight of whiskeys. He taught me hey, if it comes from the space side, it tastes like this. If it comes from Ely, it tastes like this. If it comes from this side of the island, it tastes like this. I'm like, "Oh, really?" And he's like, "These flavor profiles are nuts. Like, take a little drop of the water, put it on there, it releases the aroma of the whiskey." And I'm like, "What?" This is like mind blowing for me. So I was like, "This is amazing." So I figured out that throughout all the whiskey tastings that I've had, I like peaty whiskeys. And so my dad luckily got me this for Christmas one year, Lafroig, and it's a triple wood single malt Ely Scotch whiskey.
1815. Whoa.
Yeah, that's when they were established, man. Really old company. And so you take a sip of this stuff, just like an eyedropper full, right?
Yeah.
And it goes on your tongue.
Mm.
And the peatiness goes all around your tongue,
Mm-hmm.
and it tastes like a campfire smells, which is really cool. And so I was really jazzed about it. I like the camp.
It does,
So,
and it does taste like campfire. Like I just sipped it on it again, and it's like,
yeah.
give me the bottle.
Well, that's the thing, right? You would think like whiskey's like, I've always wondered, like, when I was younger, it's like people drink whiskey and there's not a lot of whiskey in their glass, but they're drinking whiskey. Like,
That's the
I
same.
was like, why don't they shoot that? Like, what's going on?
The same question. I always saw that. Even when I went to those guys and I drank the whiskey and stuff, it's like, no, this is how you drink it. Just you don't have to chug it and be like if you were 18 years old and we just chug everything. He's like, no, it's just relaxing and just sipping on it and feel the flavor and just keep on that talk. That's why you see that you drink 3 or 4 of them and you still feel good because you're not chugging. But that guy over there fucking already wasted because he's chugging it.
This just brought to mind a fun metaphor. Very excited about this because it literally just occurred to me at the moment. But so Scotch whiskey, any whiskey really, is about the flavor profile, right? And drinking Scotch is about the journey, not the destination. Just like life is about the journey, not the destination. That's deep,
That's true. That is deep.
That's pretty cool.
And remember, guys, it's all about the journey, not the destination. I used to thought the other way, like you got to get through the things fast and like, oh my God, this didn't happen. I got to go through it and this and that. And to like, you get to know other people that, in the same circle. You're like, no, wait, man, hold on, stop now, man. Just enjoy the journey. Enjoy this, enjoy that moment, enjoy those moments. Either they went right, left, middle, or bad or shitty. Mm-hmm. Enjoy it. It's life. You cannot do anything about it. It's just life.
Absolutely. And like all the parallels, man, all the parallels, like life's about the journey, not the destination. Just like health insurance, it's about the journey. It's about keeping you safe while you take that journey, which is a big deal. I thought that was pretty cool.
That is cool. And it's good to teach others about that stuff too. Mm-hmm. Either if they want to take it or not, because I know I was in the same position when I was younger and they threw me and stuff but now I do the same. They're like, you know what? I'm just throwing this at you, but it's like a seed. So you can have it in there sometime that I was there and I told you at that time, but you never paid attention to me. You still want to do the bad thing.
Yep.
And he said, it's fine if you go out there because you're learning your own experiences.
Yeah.
And you're like, why did I do that? I should have stopped.
Yeah, you're just like,
he told me that 5 years ago and it happened.
Your brain's like, no. Slow motion.
But hey, it's like we can't explain it that it has to happen. through you understanding through your life in the years, like, whoa, look where I'm at. Like, wow,
Yeah.
I had to learn out of my experiences to get to this point.
100%, man. 100%. No mistakes, man.
Yeah. No mistakes? What?
No. That's what I'm saying. It's like everything happens for a reason. Yeah.
Everything. I was gonna say some steak. What? Next time, probably be like.
I'm all excited. Sure.
Next time I'll be eating steak and drinking. Guys.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. Medium rare. Rare.
There you go. That's rad, dude. That's rad.
That'd be cool. I'm gonna bring a chef and do that stuff. And I am the chef right there. He wants to get podcasts. I was like, hey, dude, just make a little plates and you can show the people out there so you can out there and push yourself. Because I've been talking to him too, and he feels down of all of the stuff that is happening. I said, dude, we all go through that shit, man.
Gotta have fun.
And he the thing is that he thanks me. He's like, man, dude, you always inspire me and you always lift me up. And I said, that's good. That's what we're here for. I mean, because sometimes I feel like I never had that person to lift me up.
Of course.
And you have to have, I mean, we have our parents, they do lift us up, but sometimes they don't believe in our mission. They don't see what we're going through or the struggle, but we're still going through it, man.
Yeah,
even you get to that spot that you feel good, there's still the ups and downs. Even if you get how far there, you're still going to have those ups and downs.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to kind of control it and understand that, hey, man, it's going to happen. So what do I do next? I cannot give up. I cannot say, drop the hat and be like, this is it for me. No, none of that, man. None of that. Yep. It's just a big struggle.
Gotta keep moving and grooving, man.
Keep it moving and grooving. So before we even end, I wanted you to tell still a little bit about the insurance, because I know you did mention the PPO and all of that, and I know so they can implement a little bit more that they only have 4 days. What would happen if you don't sign up in the 4 days?
So, all right. Say for example, we're going through your needs and so on and so forth, your needs profiles, and you needed that government subsidy, right? Or you need the marketplace coverage, right? And you don't sign up in the next 4 days. You're gonna have to wait until November 1st of 2021 before you can sign up. So repeat that again.
Mm-hmm.
If you need the marketplace coverage, well, it's not if you just need any coverage really, but specifically marketplace coverage, if you need that, you have 4 days to sign up before it's closed until November 1st of next year, which is bananas, right? And so, I mean, health insurance is it's a thing, right? It's a necessity. If you don't have health insurance through your spouse, if you don't have health insurance through your job, if you don't have health insurance through the VA or like TRICARE or something like that in the military, you're probably going to need some form of either marketplace coverage or private coverage, which is a huge deal, right? I do work on the private side of the fence, and typically a lot of that stuff's more underwritten than not. Underwriting doesn't mean like crazy stuff or anything like that. It means you have to medically qualify for it to an extent. So that's like a giant rabbit hole to jump down, but basically medically qualify for it essentially. And because of that, like if you're a crazy, weird, healthy individual or something like that, then you would have lower health insurance premiums because you're crazy, weird, healthy, because there's a lower risk pool attached with that. Once again, rabbit hole, deep, lots of conversation, lots of information, probably for a different podcast.
Right, yes.
But all things considered, if you don't have the option for that underwritten coverage, you're going to need to go with that marketplace coverage, or at least that to supplement, right? And if that's the case, 4 more days. Also, too, for your employers, right? So say, for example, like you're at your job, right? And your job's like, dude, we need to get your health insurance, right? If your boss hasn't already told you need to get your health insurance back to him, get your health insurance stuff back to your boss. Get your elections for 2021 taken care of, getting back to your boss, right? This is a recorded thing, so that's cool. So it'll be played back. So luckily, you'll have the option to rewind back and like listen to the definitions again, just to make sure.
Yes.
Because it's all very, very, very valuable information that's going to help you guys out a lot.
So, but that right there, you said something right. I was like, you saw me. I was like, what? You won't be able to sign to next year, 2021?
Yeah.
Why would they do that? Is it just that important?
I
know it's important.
Yeah. That's the government, dude. So, fun fact, the ACA, Healthcare Marketplace, Obamacare, it's all the same thing. Fun fact. True story, like side note, true story in that one. My brother, God love him, he's such a great dude. I was like, yeah, you have Obamacare. He's like, I don't have no Obamacare, blah 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 blah. And I'm like, it's the same thing, dude. It's literally the same thing. And he was like, yeah. And then he was like, yeah, it's the same thing, whatever. And it's good times, you know. But at any rate, it's just words, basically. So the ACA is kind of administrated by the government, which is a big deal, right? And these big players, these big insurance companies, go to the ACA to sell their products to companies or individuals and so on and so forth. Right? That's how the ACA works. And that's where the idea was phenomenal. The execution not so much, but the idea is super duper phenomenal. And that you can go to one spot and you can find all of these people, and it's like a mall basically, but it's just a website, aka marketplace. Mm-hmm. And so you can find all these people there, and that's really, really wonderful. But the thing is, those catches that I was telling you guys earlier, right? If you are less than 50 people, especially in Texas, if you are less than 50 people in most states of the union, you do not have access to PPO coverage. So you will not have access to coverage. You can go to any hospital or doctor you pick in the United States on the marketplace. It's massively humongous, right? So once again, contact me. I'll help you out. Calendly.com/reclaim your premium. I'll get you taken care of. No stress, man. No stress. It's all fun.
Let me write it here for them that I can do that.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's fancy pants. Look at this.
Yes. Yes. So it's what? How do I write it, sir?
Man, you're gonna make me spell it. CALENDLY.
Calen.
It's like calendar, but with an LY.
Calendly, like the red Calendly. Oh, sorry. No, right.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. So it's www.calendly.com/reclaim your premium.
So www.calendly.com, right?
.com /
Sorry.
You're good.
/
reclaim your premium, all one word.
Sorry about my typing. I'm slow.
No, I was like, hashtag all typing.
Yes. Hey, there we go, guys. I suck at typing fast.
No, it's totally cool. It's totally cool.
Oh my god, I forgot how to spell premium. Oh my god, that's
PREM IUM.
PREM
IUM.
IUM. Oh my god, that's it, right?
Wait, okay.
Reclaim premium. Calendly.com.
Reclaim your premium. Yep,
that's it.
I believe so. Yeah.
All right, guys, I'm gonna put that up right now so y'all can see it. I'm gonna put it big. There it goes, right there, so you can see it. You got any questions or anything? Right there, www.calendly.com/reclaim your premium. And don't worry, I'm gonna still post it in most of the small videos that I'm still gonna push out. And he already has it, but I'm still gonna put it on the copy, right? So y'all can 4 days, and not only because 4 days. So any advice that you need about it, you can get it, because right now when you watch it and we still replay this and you get it and I'm still going to replay it, you got to pay attention to it.
Yep.
Like I said, I'm going to rewatch it again because it's important. Like, I'm new to learning this. I know yourselves, and maybe some of you already know about it, but it's like, whoa, it's too much information for one time. It's
it's
like,
a lot,
damn,
dude.
It's a lot. And I mean, and it's sometimes I say it could be our fault for not really listening back in the time that when people set you down. And
like 90% of the information I just told you guys is not like actual like regular public information that people just know, you know. And that's why it takes so much training and learning to become a health advisor, because there literally is so much stuff you have to know, and it constantly changes. And fun fact, every state has different rules too, which is nuts. So for every state I get licensed in, which I'm licensed in quite a few now, for every state I get licensed in, I not only have to do whatever their licensing requirements are. I have to get appointed in that state, and then also to be appointed, I also have to take another test for each state to say what's different than Texas, right? And I have to learn all those things and memorize them, so that way when I'm talking with all of you,
you know what they're saying.
Yeah.
Whoa! So how many are you, Texas?
So right now, I am licensed in Texas, Alabama,
cool.
Ohio, Utah, Kansas, Georgia, and I'm working on Ohio, North Carolina, and Virginia, and I'm trying to get Michigan here in the next few, because I got some people up there that need some help. Now and I can write in 31 out of 50 states, right? The only ones I cannot write in are the West Coast. I'm so sorry, guys. Like legit, honestly, I love you guys out there.
LA?
And literally nobody on the West Coast. So
Wow.
Oregon, Washington, California, Hawaii, Alaska. I'm not there yet. And then Pennsylvania, north of Pennsylvania, and then also to the right of Pennsylvania, where like New Jersey is, and those guys. No dice there. And then North Dakota, South Dakota, for some odd reason. I think Minnesota might be on there too. And then other than that, everywhere else, we're all gravy.
Whoa, why is that? Is just locally is just for them?
Yeah, so every like
Different.
and it gets like pseudo political,
Oh.
but
Oh.
like some states have different rules, right? And like I said earlier, like some states prefer more of an HMO setting for reasons that probably cannot be said on a podcast.
I know, yeah.
But it gets really interesting, to say the least. But regardless, that's not going to stop me from answering any questions that I could possibly answer within my knowledge wheelhouse for literally anybody. Literally, one of my referral partners in Ohio literally just sent me a really, really awesome couple. And I was so jazzed out to help them out. And I thought they were in Ohio, but it turns out they were in New Jersey, which is a state I'm not licensed in, right? And so your average person would go, okay, cool. See you later. Bye-bye. Not me. So I was like, hey, I tell you what, my company's actually not in your state. No big deal, though. No big deal. So what I'm going to do for you, because I was entrusted with your care. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take care of you. And they're like, well, what do you mean? And I'm like, I do a lot of networking. I said that earlier, right? I called one of my dudes. Shout out to Eli James.
Woo!
Super rad dude, man. He works with a company up in New York. Really cool dude. He knows a lot of brokers on the East Coast. And so I hit him up, and he's just really, 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 really helpful. And he was able to hook me up with an agent that's in New Jersey, or that is licensed in New Jersey. And then I was able to get those two people connected. Super jazzed out. And then everybody's happy. And then the guy from Ohio was like, oh my gosh, you went above and beyond for somebody you're not even, like you can't even help. And I'm like, absolutely. I mean, it's no big deal, man. If you're going to trust me with something, I'm going to see it through to the end because this is the kind of guy I am,
He said something important right there, guys. He went up and beyond. That's something that in any business, especially us that we're the backbone, do something beyond. Even if it hurts you or something, it's like, oh, but my package is more than that. They're not willing to pay that. Do something beyond. He did, man. Like he couldn't do New Jersey, but he went up his side and said, I'm gonna find somebody another agent and help them out and make them happy. He could have just said, like you said at the minute, and boom, hang up. But with just that one thing he did, he's blessed for it forever. Because he might not see it now, but a lot of things are gonna happen through his life. Like I see it. I've done a lot of stuff like I was telling you before. You're like, I'm seeing it right now. But it's stuff that you did a long time ago that you implement those seeds. And sometimes it pisses you off because like, oh my God, I helped that person. And he made money with that person. And I was like, I'm happy if they did. I'm still happy and blessed. But man, I'm the one that connected. Why didn't they, it didn't have to be about the money. They could refer me, And I'm like, oh, well, now sometimes I think about it. Somebody else, someone's like, now you know who you're actually helping, because you actually went and beyond. It's still good. Go still do it. But those people, may not be in your circle.
Yeah.
Because I see that because just a few, months ago, I helped other people that it was not even years, months. And they came back to me and helped me in a way that I'm like, that's what he meant, all those people don't see that. And I'm still happy. Like I said, I'm not no crush or anything, and I'm not going to stop talking to them. Yeah. No, I'm not that kind of guy. And I'm like, I'm still going to bless them for it. But you know who to trust and who to 100%. Do business, right? Because we cannot just say to everybody, I'm going to work with everybody. Like, you can't do that. There's people that, I have friends that, sent me or even themselves that they're like, oh, they even tell their stories to me like, hey man, that guy was trying to pay me $10,000. They had the money, but I said no. And I was like, and I asked them why. I mean, $10,000, shit, that's good for the Christmas. And so like, no, man, when I sat down and I felt the vibe, integrity. He's like, I felt like he was gonna be worse deal. They were trying to manipulate what I was doing and stuff. And I was like, hell no, I don't want that. That's not gonna work.
Integrity is a huge deal, man.
And he said, but if it would have been another person like me, he would have taken that $10K.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand that. And those are good things to learn.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good
and
things.
Giver's gain, man. Giver's gain is crazy important. So I'll explain giver's gain really quick.
Mm-hmm.
Giver's gain is the thought that if you are continually helping individuals, it will eventually come back to you.
Mm.
And it's totally true, completely true. I mean, there are networking organizations that are founded on this stuff, right? Givers gain, right? I always will try to help out as many people as I possibly can, because you never know ever when that's going to come back to you. If it will come back to you, it doesn't even matter if it does, because it's just you're helping people. It makes you feel good inside, you know?
It's true. It makes me like happy, even to this point that I'm just connecting with people, and now that I'm gonna connect a lot of people to him, and like I always, what we're talking right here, my mind is I cannot explain. It's already working to who I can connect to, or who I just met. Like today, I met a super awesome guy. Like before you came, he's in the Forbes magazine, and he I still don't believe that I met him. He was inside my office, sitting down in front of
crazy,
me.
Man, that's cool.
He sold like 3 companies for 2.5 and something. So he's worth. I'm sitting in front of him, and he's like, ask me any question. I was like, dude, I'm just happy that you're just sitting in that chair. Like, and he asked me, hey, we're gonna go out and eat some tacos and stuff. He's like, man, let's go out. I'll take you to taco.
Right, dude.
Like so those stuff, when I tell those stories, like I'm telling you, it's like, I don't believe it.
That's so right.
And then and then just like we have that same connection.
Yeah.
You're like, that's because you're good at networking. That's because you're helping people out. So those doors are just automatically opening for you.
Oh yeah, it's massive, dude.
Because to me, I tried to reach to him, and I was like, oh, no, he's a powerful guy. He's on a next level. He's not going to have reached out to me.
Yeah.
Nope. He even told me himself, hell no, dude. I'm fucking normal like you, dude. People see me because I've been in hot force and I did all of that. None of that, man. I'm still going to be the same homo guy that still help the kids and all of that. Everything I give around is like, whoa, that's fucking amazing.
I mean, people are people.
People are
either way they are. People are people.
Yeah,
you know,
and it sucks because I know I used to be like that. All the thing, like, man, he just cares about himself and this and that. And that's what I tell you guys, that now it's not like that, man. When you have somebody sitting in front of you, when you just talking to him, it's like just talking to. He's a human. He's the same person.
Yep.
I know that there's gonna be some that are cocky and stuff. There's everywhere in the world.
Oh yeah.
The world it's just. I don't know how to say it. It's just
it's a very interesting place.
Yeah, there we go. You just finished it right. It's just a very interesting place with a lot of very interesting people.
100%.
Oh, and we should have had that Dos Equis. Very interesting.
Yeah, right.
Dos Equis guy. That would have been nice when we said that. Very interesting people.
Yeah, right.
The 2X guy, and then he comes out in the back. Man, we would explode the internet like that, man.
Oh my god.
Good ideas.
I don't do podcasts very often, but when I do this one.
I do this one. Yes. Hey.
It just like bounces out, you know.
You never know. We might have next another podcast when we're doing it together, and we have somebody special coming in and doing like, what the hell? Like they know somebody. Yeah. Hey, ideas come out when you talk sometimes.
100%, man. 100%.
Oh man. Anything last that you want to tell the audience that comes for you? You can be personal and business on your side.
Sure. Just in general, like, thank you so much for watching this, because it's awesome. You know, I'd love to meet you. I'd love to see your faces, because helping people is a big deal, right? Always want to help out those others if you can, right? I always tell my girls, you know, help out people that are smaller than you. And it's the thing is like in stature, mind you, and they're like, you know, and they're great at this point. So it's like help out the little kids. So it was buying more, but it is the other metaphor for that technically would be to help out others regardless of their situation, which is cool, right? Because if we all help each other, we're all in this together when it comes down to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Especially us small businesses, right? Especially us, because man, like I said earlier, we're the backbone of the U.S. economy, which is a big deal, right? And if we network and help each other out, it's only going to get better for all of us in the same run, right? Same thing goes health insurance. Same thing goes for, you know, Joe Blow on the street corner. You know, it helps out, you know, Emma Lou on the street corner, and they're like, whoa, we became best friends. And, you know, hey, you know, I got this person over here that needs this, and I got this person over here that needs this. Boom, now I got somebody to send you. You know what I mean? Same thing happens in networking. Same thing happens when we're in businesses. So, yeah, I guess in closing, I would say, you know, stay happy. You know, happiness is a choice. Mindset is everything. Smiling is the spark.
Man. All that right, man. And guys, if you want to follow him all through the show as we're passing here, you can follow his Facebook. It's all right there, Reclaim Premium, and Instagram, ROIP_insurance.
Yep.
I couldn't find your website, so I don't know if you had a website. So I just put your Facebook.
No, it's
you're good. So Facebook and Instagram.
If you do the LinkedIn page, the Facebook page, Calendly, that's basically
The
it.
Calendly right there. It's
Yeah.
all there. And
Reclaim your premium.
Whoop, 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 whoop. Oh man, that right there. You know, I was watching it before we even finished. I can still watch this. It's out of the course. I was watching one of the videos, and right before you finished, like I laughed just as you laughed, dude. Like I hadn't even seen the video. Like it inspired me that I would have, and then you laugh. I just turned it up. I was like, "What? I love that guy." I said, "I love that guy because of his energy. Because you have that energy that I already have that energy, and it just collapses, and it's just like fun, freaking amazing, man.
Yeah, life's too short to not have fun. Have fun, no matter what you're doing, man.
Right there.
I mean, dude, just love it, own it."
Own it, and life is too short, just like he said. I enjoy it, and guys, do not miss the Push Power to Power show. This is gonna be on the audio. Trust me, man. He's gonna go rock and roll on Spotify, Apple, so he's gonna be there. I'm already in 200 downloads, so man, that's blessings. So I mean, and y'all don't see it through here, but I put all his links and everything, so you'll be able to watch anything you want from him. And I'm still gonna push him out there. He's on the circle already. Like I'm on his circle, he's on my circle. That's what I tell people. Like, when you're in that circle and you want to help each other out, that's your true friends, your true everybody right there. Because when something happens, they're gonna be there for you. Mm-hmm. They're gonna be there for you. When I know I've started making it and stuff, next levels, and he himself or he needs help from his daughters, I'm gonna be there. Because it's not that the money is never the root of all evil, but the money that you make is gonna give you options to help the people, to help to create foundations, create anything that you can help anybody. You never know when, like I said, his kids or anybody is sick or anything. He's like, man, I don't get paid till next week, or the next check is not here. Like, here you go, bro. And the first thing is, do not think about getting it back. If you're helping it, you're giving it, it comes from your heart. That's it. Don't want it back. I learned that new, man, because I used to be on the other side. I used to borrow money, and I would be like, hey, when are you giving it back? Yeah. And then somebody told me, no, man, when you give that money, man, it came from your heart. Don't even think about that. When are you gonna? That's it. It's gonna help them through them, and that's it. Because you never know that person that you give him that. You in a situation like that, he's gonna remember. Hey, man, you let me borrow those $200. Yep. Man, today I'm really, really wealthy now, and man, here you go. Even 5,000, maybe they give you more because of that situation that happened. You implementing something, and I love that I learned that, man, because it would have made me, more cocky or stuff like, oh no, I want my money back.
Oh yeah, emotional investments, man.
There he goes, emotional investments. So thank you guys, and keep on following that. Like I said, the Push Power to Power show, Yeraldy Media. Go out there and follow it, subscribe. Don't forget to put the little Tinkerbell and the little. I call it the Tinkerbell. I call it that. I call it the Tinkerbell. I don't know why I named it that. You know how you go to YouTube and Facebook, they have the little bell. So they don't miss the notifications when we're on there. So I kind of don't press those little Tinkerbell. So when we go live again or we do any content, you're gonna be able to watch us live, man. Yep. Thank you. God bless. And the same do for him. Don't forget to put that little Tinkerbell. And man, it was an amazing show. Now me and him are gonna sit down and drink some whiskey and enjoy our happy Friday, and happy Friday for you. God bless. God bless ya. And if you didn't see it, hashtag live, hashtag replay. You'll be able to see it later on today.
Hashtag reclaim your premium.
Woo, woo, woo. Peace out, guys.
Later, guys.
Later.